Look at your faces. Look how gorgeous you are. Look at you. You're going to help me record a video? Yeah? Shall we? Shall we? Come on then. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Tom Reads Things. My name is Tom. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you're all very well. So, today what I thought I would do is go through my TBR box. So I don't have a TBR shelf because I'm a bit weird and I can't put books that I haven't read on my bookshelf yet. Does anyone else have that? Is it just me? Just a bit of a weird thing. So I have a TBR box, which I keep up in one of our spare bedrooms upstairs. And here it is. Ready? Here it is. This is my TBR box. There's quite a few books to go through, so I think what I'll probably do is I'll split this into two videos. One I'll do this week and one I'll do in a couple of weeks' time or next week or something. So let's start going through them. Now this isn't like a TBR for the next month or anything like that. I'm not going to restrict myself to saying I have to read these books in the next month or anything. This is just books that I have, that I've collected and that I want to read at some point. Some of them will be later on in the year, some of them will be sooner rather than later. So let's, God, it's a bit exciting, isn't it? It's a bit like a, what do they call it? Like a lucky dip. Very exciting. So the first book I'm going to pull out is, so it is Dombey Son by Charles Dickens. So I don't know a huge amount about this book. I know that it's one of Dickens' longest books, I think along with Little Dorrit, David Copperfield, Our Mutual Friend, those kind of ones. But I think it follows the story of a gentleman and his family, and the relationship that he has with his sons and also with his daughter. I believe her name is Florence. And the effect that money and kind of emotional dysfunction can have on a family unit. That's kind of what I believe it's about. Really looking forward to this one. I don't know why, but I've always been really drawn to this as a Dickens novel. Again, as you know, I have really no idea what it's about. But I just really, I really like these longer Dickens novels, so can't wait to get into this. I'm probably going to read this. I was going to save this for Victober, but I think if I save this till Victober, this would probably be the only thing that I would read in the month of October this year because it's so long. And I know this will take me a while to get through. So I'm probably going to read it in September so that I don't have to read it for Victober because I know I'll need to read more books for Victober. And then that frees me up to read some non-fiction for non-fiction November as well. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to this, but probably won't be until September. Also, I like to read books like this in front of the fire, and it's not really acceptable to have a fire on in the middle of August, surely is it? 1st of September, you can put a fire on. Okay, cool. So next book I'm going to look at is this one. I'm really excited to get to this one. Okay, so this is The Harts Invisible Furies by John Boyne. Now, again, I don't know a huge amount about this, so we'll read the blurb together in a bit, but I do know that Lauren, over at Lauren and the Books, recently read this and really, really, really enjoyed it. She was saying that the characters really stayed with her, and it was something that she kind of wasn't expecting, but she really, really, really enjoyed. So let's find out what it's about together, shall we? So, cast out from home, 16 and pregnant, Catherine Goggin boards the bus to Dublin to start fresh. Once there, she has no choice but to believe that the nun to whom she entrusts her child will find him a better life. The baby is named Cyril by his adoptive parents, who treat him more like a curiosity than a son. But before this can affect him too deeply, he meets Julian Woodbede, who, even from childhood, seems destined for an infinitely more glamorous and dangerous life. And so begins one man's funny and moving search to find his place in the world that seems to delight in gently tormenting him at every turn. Buffeted by circumstance and the consequences of his own questionable judgment, Cyril must navigate his emotions and his desires in search of that most instinctive human need, happiness. That sounds so good. I've heard a lot of people really rave about this. It sounds really character driven, whilst obviously having a good mix of plot and character driven in there as well. So I'm really excited to read this. I think this will probably be maybe the next book that I read after The Old Curious Shop, which I'm reading at the moment. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Let's delve back into the lucky dip to see what we've got coming up next. Oh, what could it be? Okay. So this is The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. So I was I picked this up kind of on a whim. I'd seen it doing the rounds on BookTube, but hadn't really heard too much about it other than that. And really, I just picked it up because I like the cover. Is that awful? It is awful, I know it is. But I am a real cover tart. Can't help it. But yeah, I picked this up because I really like the cover. And since having it, I've heard Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings talking about it, and she really didn't get on with it. But let me know if you've read this in the comments down below, and let me know what you thought as well, because I am still going to pick this up. It's only short, it's not massively long, so I will still be picking this up. But yeah, I don't know a huge amount about it. So let's read about it together, shall we? One night in an isolated college town in the hills of Southern California, a first-year student stumbles into her room, falls asleep and doesn't wake up. She sleeps through the morning into the evening. Her roommate May is unable to rouse her. Neither can the paramedics nor the perplexed doctors at the hospital. When a second girl falls asleep and then a third, May finds herself thrust together with an eccentric classmate as panic takes hold of the college and spreads to the town. Those affected by the illness are displaying unusual levels of brain activity, higher than has ever been recorded before. They are dreaming heightened dreams, but what of? That actually sounds really up my street. So I'm glad I'm a cover tart and bought it just for the cover, because it does sound really good. But we shall wait and see. So yeah, do let me know if you've read this and what you thought. Let's pick the last one now, because I've got quite a few in here, so I'll need to make a second video about it. Let's pick this one. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so the last one is The Bronte Sisters, Life, Loss and Literature by Catherine Rayner. So this was very kindly bought for me by my father-in-law for Christmas this year, because he knows I really like the Bronte, especially Charlotte Bronte. I'm really looking forward to this. Actually, I might read this for non-fiction November, if that's happening this year. Get involved in that. So if you don't know anything about the Brontes and their life, they had such an interesting life, and I can't wait to read about it in more detail. I do know a bit about kind of their life and what they went through and their family circumstances and where they lived and things through watching, I think it's called To Walk Invisible, which is a drama film based on the life of the Brontes. And it follows all three Bronte sisters, their father Patrick and their brother Branwell. And it especially goes into quite a lot of detail about how Branwell's kind of tortured life and alcoholism and his experience as kind of a failed artist, really, and him struggling to find his place in the world, how that affected their family unit, how it affected the writing of the sisters, I believe especially Anne, I think The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which I still haven't read, which I'm definitely going to be reading this year, probably maybe as part of October, was influenced quite a lot by Branwell's behaviour. So they had a really, really interesting life. And yeah, so To Walk Invisible, do give that a watch on Amazon Prime. It's so well done. Really, really, really well done. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I would also like to go up to visit the Bronte Parsonage in the Bronte Museum in Haworth at some point this year. So yeah, looking forward to that. Maybe I'll go there and then read this. Oh, Bronte, Bronte, Bronte. Very exciting. So that is my some picks from my TBR box. Let me know what's on your TBR. Let me know if you're due to read any of those books, or let me know if you have read any of those books in the comment section down below. And I will be back in a couple of days looking at some of the books in my collection, which I'm going to be donating to the book library at my work. So yeah, see you soon. Thanks, bye.